Alright, so I have another one for you guys. So let's talk blades, because that's what we're into. Today I am featuring the CRKT Xolotl. Yeah, I said that right. That's coming out of the designer's mouth, and it actually says how to pronounce it on the box also. When you get the box, it even shows you, like, how to pronounce it. It's really funny because everyone's thinking it's the Xolotl, because that's what it says on the back of the blade. But it's actually pronounced Xolotl. Xolotl. And it is designed from a man named Michael Rodriguez. And I have to say, I'm a fan of his designs. Anything that comes out of that guy's head is just awesome. Yeah, I'm a huge fan. So, G10 handle scales, and I know you're probably going to notice it's got a really interesting design. These lines are supposed to represent the years of service that he was in the Marine Corps. And I believe that there's either 21 or 23 ribs, and the ribs are joined by the pocket clip, which is supposed to represent a sternum. So that's actually kind of really cool. And the Xolotl is inspired by a Aztec god. From what I gather, it's supposed to help the souls to the afterlife. So that's kind of a dark, dank kind of thing, but I think it's really cool. Not a huge knife. It's really, really nice. It's supposed to represent kind of like a boot dagger. Because of just the way that it's only ground on one side to have that edge, and it's on this side. This side, it's a false edge. There's nothing there. And it is a flipper design. So you press this quillion right here, and it pops right open. The thing I don't like about this knife is that it's only strictly tip-down carry. So you can't put it on the bottom here at all, which is still cool. I mean, but I just don't like the fact that it's tip-down carry only. And you can switch it left or right, strictly for tip-down. But it is a fantastic knife. Price tag on this sits around about, right now, currently it's at $88.74. After you pay your tax on it and shipping, I'm sure it's going to come out to close to $100. I think I paid $98 or $99 for this, just under $100. Not really cheap. And this is the same kind of steel you get, kind of like the steel that you would get on your Swiss Army knives. At least that's what I was told anyways. Great steel. I actually stabbed through a dozen layers of cardboard. I'm not going to tell you when or where, but one person was a witness, and they thought that it was really cool. So I did that just at random, just to see how great this thing performs, and the tip is really stabby. And yeah, you got this sharp portion right here, and it has a point. That thing is kind of sharp. And you can actually use this, and a lot of people have said this before, but you can use this as a Kubotan. So you hold it like such, you got a pointed end here, and a pointed end here. And another cool bit about this, a little fun fact, has jimping here, as you can see it, right there on the quillion, right there. And there's jimping right there on the bottom part of that quillion. So when you're holding it like such, like you're supposed to hold it, it's good for that stabbing, if you really wanted to. CRKT Xolotl by Michael Rodriguez, excuse me, not Robert Rodriguez. Michael Rodriguez, excuse me. And it's really thin, it's really light, so let's get some specs for you guys. I really want to show you guys how awesome this thing is. 3.91 ounces, under 4 ounces. It's pretty dang light. And let's get some measurements for you so you guys know what you're working with as far as... It's not a really huge knife. Alright, so yeah, 3.5 inch cutting blade. But get this, if you're holding it the way you're supposed to, like you saw me hold it, you actually have a little over just a 4.5 inch reach. So that reach alone makes up for the loss of how short this blade actually is. Assuming that you're not going to be choking up on the ricasso right here. But from the way you're holding it right here, you have a little bit of a 4.5, close to a 4.5 inch reach with that. So that, you know, and then you have a lot of that handle. I'm not holding it to where I'm like all the way back here. Holding it regular, my hand sits perfectly just the way it's supposed to. It's a great knife. It's a great little stiletto-like dagger type thing. And yes, it has steel liners. It is a liner lock. I don't have to use the flashlight, but I'm doing it as for the effect. Wacha! Flashlight. You can see that it's steel liners in there. Liner lock, this is the kind of thing where a thin liner lock like this kind of makes me a little nervous about how the strength of this thing is supposed to be, but it's pretty solid. It really is. There's no blade play whatsoever, left, right, up, or down. It's very solid for that. It runs on, I'm not sure what kind of washers it runs on, but it's kind of got this weird kind of opening system on the inside of there. I don't know really how to explain it, but it's not bad. It's not normal that I'm used to. It's just a newer design. I can't really get into that. If you really want to look into it, you can. But this is a great knife for what it is. Oh, let me show you guys how. Let's see. How wide it is. 11.5. So it's not bad. It's not bad as far as, you know, how wide it is in the pocket. But like I said, it's tip down carry. So my only fear, because it's tipped down, it's going to be in my right hand pocket. And I'm always afraid that if I put my hand in my pocket, I'm going to catch that quillion and eventually pop that knife out, which never happened. But I was always afraid of that because it was tipped down and it sits like this in your pocket next to whatever else you have in your pocket. So, I mean, it's just something to take in consideration. The pocket clip is a really interesting design. Like I said, it sits really deep in the pocket because of how far it is. You're not going to have any more than just that hump sticking out of your pocket. And if you don't want to use it for self-defense, you can use it as a kubaton because you got all that space as an impact weapon. And yeah, there's little pokey spots. Great knife. Great knife. And for something that's under $100, it's pretty good. It's pretty good steel. I haven't had to touch it up or sharpen it at all. So I've carried this, I want to say, for actually a couple of months, just because I liked it that much. It was nice and light. It was thin. It didn't take up. It's not very wide in the pocket. It's not. It's so. Well, let's take that in consideration. The quillions right there. So 35.1, 22.8. It's not very wide. It's not a very wide, not very heavy, quite slim. It's a great knife. And Michael Rodriguez comes out with some great stuff. I think I have one other thing of his, but I'm not able to find it. It's actually it's a push dagger that's kind of like a skull. Really cool looking. I can't seem to find it. But when I do, obviously, I'll be doing a review on that one, too. Another Rodriguez design. It's the only other one that I have of his. And he makes some great stuff. He really does. So let's show you how sharp this thing is. So here's some leather cord right here. Make sure that is the... Yep, that's the sharp edge. Making sure that it's not the false edge. No resistance whatsoever. It just cut right through it. Yeah, that's wicked sharp. Yeah, pretty sharp. All right, so there's the leather cord, a little bit of rope. That really didn't cut. Try it again. Yeah, there we go. I just didn't get a good grip on that one, but it literally cut. That's pretty good. And my favorite part, the paper. Let's cut some paper, guys. That was me just cutting without even actually trying. This thing is sharp. And I cut off just that little bit of portion right there. Look at that portion there. That's what I cut off. And there's more of that right there. Oh, well, whatever. Yeah, this thing is super sharp. Wicked sharp. And of course, it's really pointy, so... yeah, it's good stuff. It's good stuff. So, my overall thoughts on this knife, I'd have to say, like I said, I was really excited getting it, and I was really, really concerned about how big it actually was. There was one other person I was talking to about this knife, and he told me that it was a little small for him, but he's the type of guy who would walk around with, like, humongous cold steel knives in his pocket, so it kind of doesn't surprise me. But I pulled the trigger on it because it just looked so attractive in the photos, and I saw a few videos, and I just wanted one for myself because it just looks so cool, and I really do like stiletto-like knives. So this is just one of those type of knives. So I went and I got one. I got two, actually, but had to give one away because obviously it was just one of those things where I didn't need two if they're the same thing. No difference. I didn't want to be that greedy, so share the wealth, right? Anyways, guys, thank you for that. If you're interested in it, check it out on Amazon. Like I said, you're going to be spending close to $100. Just think of it that way. If you're really interested in it, check it out. See you guys in the next one. Later.